were played upon, jealousy arose, and Malcolm was ultimately ousted from that organization. This caused an intense climate of rivalry that set the stage for Malcolm's assassination in February of 1965.
He was really declared a hypocrite at the time, and because of some of the things that he was saying in regards to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may God be pleased with him, a strong position was really taken against him. The ministers began to speak out against the things that Malcolm was saying in regards to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, accusations that he had made about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He had accused the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, for instance, of fathering children and etc. And you must understand that at that time, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to the Muslims then, was held in such high reverence as you would even think of any prophet being held in high reverence. And this is the kind of love and admiration that the Muslims at that time had for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So when Minister Malcolm began to say those things, it was taken as an outright lie, and that he was actually castigating and defaming, actually, the messenger. Honorable Elijah Muhammad was known at that time as the messenger of God. That was the title he used, and for those who followed him, that is what he was accepted as at that time, you see.
Were there any actual words that you heard from ministers, mosque ministers, suggesting that his life should be taken?
No, I couldn't say that. I couldn't say that. I could only...
But it was inference.
I would say that, take for instance, one time in the Muhammad Speaks at that time, the newspaper printed a big article concerning the chief hypocrite. And it actually had a picture of Malcolm's head, you know, rolling or bouncing down the street at that time. And, you know, the way that picture is depicted, you know, he has little horns on his head and things like this here. So, indirectly, I would say that a very, very strong position was taken against him.
Yes, he's immoral. You can't take 9 teenage women and seduce them and give them babies and not tell me and then tell me you're moral. You could do it if you admitted you did it and admitted that the babies were yours. I'd shake your hand and call you a man. A good one, too. But anytime you seduce teenage girls and make them be charged with adultery, make them hide your crime, why, you're not even a man, much less a divine man. So, and this is what he did. He took at least 9 that we know about. And I'm not speculating because he told this to me himself. Yes, that's why he wanted me dead, because he knew that as soon as I woke up, I'd tell it.
Plan of action was basically what took place. Me and Leon, we took seats down in the front of the Autobahn. We came early. We would drift into the Autobahn. If indeed there was a search, then we could never enter. There was no search, so we drifted in just like we had hoped to. Leon Davis and myself took seats down front on the left-hand side. Benjamin and William, who carried the sort-of shotgun, sat right behind us, you know. And Wilbur sat somewhat in the back or almost in the middle. And our plan was, as soon as the brother came out to speak, that Wilbur would throw the smoke bomb to make a distraction, and that William would fire his shotgun, and that Leon and myself, we would fire our weapons, and then this break for the door.
And without any further ado, I bring before you Minister Malcolm, and I pray that you and I will listen, hear, and understand. Thank you.
As in Dr. King's assassination, a police superior has trouble with the truth. He tells reporters that 2 suspects were arrested at the Audubon. Later, official police reports say that 1 was arrested. Also, listen closely as the police official carefully handles the question about police on the scene.
We have 2 suspects in custody now.
Where were they arrested? Fired the shot?
I wouldn't know that at this time.
Where were they arrested, sir?
One of these men was arrested on the street by one of our patrolmen close by.
There were no police at this meeting, were there, Inspector?
There were no uniformed policemen assigned inside this ballroom.
No uniform police on the scene. Does this mean that police out of uniform were there? And if so, why didn't they take action? What were they doing there? This behavior pattern rings a bell of...
The murder of Malcolm X has lingered in controversy for decades. The central question, who truly killed Malcolm X, has never been simple to answer. But today, history tells us more than the courts once did. In February 1965, Malcolm X was gunned down in New York City. Within days, police arrested 2 men, Muhammad Aziz, also known as Norman Butler, and Khalil Islam, born Thomas Johnson. Both men insisted on their innocence. Aziz was taken into custody just days after the assassination. He maintained his innocence for decades, even while serving over 20 years in prison. He would not be exonerated until 2021, when investigators revealed what many had long suspected: there was no physical evidence linking him to the crime. Authorities, it was discovered, had withheld crucial information that could have changed the outcome. Khalil Islam suffered a similar fate. Arrested alongside Aziz, he too maintained his innocence and offered a credible alibi. Yet, the justice system failed him. Islam died in 2009, still branded a convicted murderer. It was not until 2021, more than a decade after his death, that his name was finally cleared. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office, following a comprehensive review, overturned the convictions of Aziz and Islam. In doing so, they admitted what historians and activists had been saying for generations. These men had not received justice. The wrongful convictions, prosecutors concluded, had rewritten the narrative of one of the most infamous murders of the civil rights era. For decades, scholars and historians questioned the official account, and in the end, they were right. The exonerations of Muhammad Aziz and Khalil Islam represent not only a correction of the record, but also a stark reminder. Even in cases of towering historical importance, truth can be obscured, and justice delayed. The assassination of Malcolm X remains one of the darkest turning points in America's civil rights struggle. But today, the story of 2 wrongfully convicted men stands as a powerful chapter in the long pursuit of truth.
To get at the truth in regards to the case. As you probably know, my 2 co-defendants, Norman Butler and Thomas Johnson, have always maintained the innocence in the case. And even during the trial, I had stated myself that they were not involved in the killing of Malcolm X, you know. And this is an opportunity to get it out before the public, and hopefully it may have some effect. And I would like to see the brothers exonerated.
At the trial, you pleaded guilty. You said that you were one of the persons involved in the assassination.
This is correct.
If you said that you were involved at that time, you also said at that time that these 2 brothers were not involved, but they didn't believe you then.
That's correct.
What is the difference in the information you're bringing forth now that would convince someone that you're now giving a more accurate story?
Well, at the time, I had stated on the witness stand that the brothers was not involved, but I was asked to give names of the individuals who was involved in the case with me. And at that time, I didn't give the names of the other brothers that took part in the assassination or the killing of Malcolm X. I didn't give the names. And because I didn't give the names, it was felt that, well, perhaps I was just trying to free the other brothers. I was trying to take the weight myself and protect them. And this seems to have been the feelings at that time. You know, this is the way that things was going. But I couldn't, at the time, was a lot of things involved. You know, I really didn't feel that I could state names. I had to disassociate myself from the Nation of Islam at the time. I said that I wasn't a Muslim. Things like this here, because I was trying to protect the Nation of Islam at the time. I didn't want to like draw the nation into it on my part. So I was really trying to protect the nation, right? But it got to a point, originally when the trial first started, I actually felt that the brothers would be cut loose. I didn't think that they was going to be convicted until this trial started going on, and it became obvious what was being done. And at that point, you know, I had to say something. And this is when I said what I said, that they were not involved.
In addition to the fact that you say you were not in the Audubon Ballroom on the day that Malcolm got killed, what logic is it that you can offer us that would convince us that you were not there?
Well, the only thing that I can say is that I couldn't hardly walk that day, for one. I was home with my wife and my children. My children were too young to testify. Other people knew that I was home because they called my house. And I guess the greatest logic in the world is that how could I possibly be in the Audubon Ballroom that particular day when so many people that were there knew me, that was with Malcolm in other words, knew me, and then